So what does this have to do with this? What's up, guys? Happy New Year, and it's your boy Rich here with Victorinox I.N.O.X. Mechanical. Woo, that was a mouthful. But let's go take a closer look. Let's go. And here is Victorinox I.N.O.X. in 43 millimeters, 51 millimeters from lug to lug, 13 millimeters tall, and with a 22 millimeter lug width. And most of the finishing on the I.N.O.X. is done in a nice brushed finishing, with the only polishing coming around the scalped bezel all the way around here. And it has notes of Vacheron Constantin's Overseas. And I think the polishing breaks up the nice monotony of the brushed work, giving it sort of this multi-dimensional bezel. It comes together really nicely. And the crown guards right here are massive, and they are protecting the crown in there like a bodyguard, or I should say, they're like the Secret Service, and nothing is getting to the crown. And despite its really protected crown guards, the crown is still easily accessible to screw and unscrew. The dial on the I.N.O.X. is done in a really nicely guilloche blue, a really nice texture that is actually meant to mimic the texture on their Swiss Army knife. A really cool effect. And its indices are applied, including their logo at 12 o'clock. And its loom is really strong, something you would expect from a Victorinox. And the chaptering has these nice details all around it, really providing a really sharp and attractive blue dial. And this is also available in black as well. And the strap on the I.N.O.X. is definitely worth talking about, because it looks like a regular fabric strap, and that's what I thought, but I knew there was something different about it. I just didn't know what it was, and that's because it is genuine wood, and there's no way that I would have guessed wood until I read up on it. And it is lined in genuine leather, and if we're expecting the wood to be hard and coarse like a tree bark, we would be wrong. It's actually really soft, really nicely done, and it doesn't flake the way that it might if we rubbed up against a tree bark or any tree. It's just really soft. So I'm not sure how Victorinox treated the wood to create this this nice unique strap here, but it is really cool. And it comes with a deployment clasp, and there is their branding on the buckle. And if we look at the back of the case, we see the movement. So what is powering the I.N.O.X.? Well, the previous iterations, including the current models, use a quartz movement, and those are really popular. And now they've added a mechanical movement, and they use the ETA 2824. And if we look at the movement, it looks to be pretty sort of bare bones. Actually, it's not decorated highly. They do have a little bit of customization on the rotor with their logo there, but it is pretty standard. But it is going to be very reliable as a 2824. And I think this is a great time for some wrist shots, and I'll be back, and Mickey will be more than happy to make you a drink. Oh. The price of the I.N.O.X. is $795 on the strap, or $850 on a bracelet. And for that, we get a really nice Swiss-made watch that is both elegant and rugged, that comes from a beloved brand that we're all familiar with. And we're back with some final thoughts on the I.N.O.X. You know, when I was first interested in this watch, I was actually looking for my first knock-around watch, because I don't have one of those kinds of watches. The kind that I can wear worry-free, anytime, anywhere, knowing that it'll survive anything. Kind of sort of like a curvier, sexier G-Shock. But the more time I spent with the I.N.O.X., the more I realized, as rugged looking as it is, it's also really elegant, and a little too elegant just to be worn with this intent that I originally had. And because it is a Victorinox branded watch, our expectations for it are it must be tough and dependable, which it is. But then something happened on the way to the forum, and that's our appreciation for its elegant curves. Which means we're going to have to decide on how we want to wear the watch. If we want to wear a nice everyday watch, we might not want all the dings and scratches associated with wearing it as a knock-around watch. So for me, I've changed my tune from thinking of it as a knock-around watch to one that I want to wear every day as a really nice, elegant watch. I hope Victorinox watches, I think their watches can have success. Their least expensive watch is their quartz chronograph for about $450, while their most expensive chronograph is a mechanical one priced at about $2,300. But I think one of their biggest challenges is that they come from a multi-product brand. But I think it can work because it has worked for other brands such as Cartier, which is known for making pens and eyewears and perfumes and colognes and other jewelry. Yet they are regarded as a luxury watchmaker. The same goes for Hermes or Bulgari or Mont Blanc, more so for Mont Blanc, who has graduated nicely from making luxury pens into being a legitimate watchmaker. So I think the plan can work for Victorinox. But one of the other things that those other brands had going for them, all of them, is that they heavily modified their movement or are now making their movement fully in-house. I don't think that business model necessarily will work for Victorinox, because I think Victorinox prices are priced much more affordably than those other brands. So, it may not make sense. And I think the customer base for Victorinox is going to be a little bit different from someone wanting a Cartier or a Mont Blanc. I think the Victorinox watch is going to be a nice companion for those of us who trust the brand, whether it's from their luggage or their Swiss Army knives. It makes a nice companion. And I think that's where they're going to have their greater success, targeting that audience rather than copying the blueprint from a Cartier or a Mont Blanc. All this Victorinox talk has made me want to take a vacation, so I've got my bags packed, my Swiss Army knife ready, and my watch. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you the next time. And Cartier is known for making eyewear, potatoes, and pens. Potatoes. That wool strap is kind of, that wood strap. Victorinox is a brand we all love. Why do we love them?